We started Angels and Airwaves, We Don't Need to Whisper in the beginning of March 2005.
The record was recorded in San Diego, California for the most part, at Tom's house.
Which is also known as Never Pants Ranch. I don't know if the studio got the name or if his house was just kind of called that.
Computer, recording equipment on one side, the lounge area, guitars, amps, and the four of us sitting around playing, bouncing ideas off of each other. It was kind of born in and around that studio.
We recorded the drums in Los Angeles at a studio made by a little band called the Foo Fighters. They were gracious enough to allow us into their own private recording sanctuary and let us make a bunch of noise in there.
But the coolest thing about recording is when you truly find yourself in a situation where you're completely relaxed and you're basically quarantined off from the rest of the world.
Recording the last Angels record was a new experience for all of us. It was just that, I can't talk. I suck right now. What's the question again?
Recording We Don't Need to Whisper was different for me than any other record I'd recorded because the process is so different from the songwriting to the recording in every aspect, really.
We fortunately have our own studio, so we can come in with an idea, record that idea, and build off of it and jump from instrument to instrument, whether it be drums, keyboards, guitars, bass, all sorts of percussion, loop, fuck around with loops to get different ideas, and go from there, and that's kind of our writing process.
I've always worked with producers that would make sure that the songs are where they needed to be. But on this album, I kind of had to be everything, and it was scary. And I would second guess myself. I remember having these panic attacks in the first few months going, what am I doing? I'm starting this new thing. Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to embarrass myself? I was calling on my manager, Rick, saying, I need a producer. I really think I need one. I think I'm getting myself in this whole fuck of a mess that I don't know how to dig myself out of. And I was scared. And luckily, there weren't any producers that were available. And I had to find my own way and end up learning so much about who I was. At that moment, I realized I didn't need to get somebody to pull out of me what I wanted. I had to find it within myself.
I always thought like maybe having a producer that wasn't so attached to the songs was a good idea because you could get an unbiased opinion of how they were, but I can't keep up. I can't keep up with the way he thinks about shit. Like it's 24/7, so I know like when ideas come up, I know that even if I don't know that I totally agree with the idea, I know that he's already gone over it like a million other ideas in his head, that there's at least something to that idea. It's not just something that's thrown out there.
He can hear it also from a producer's point of view and be objective about it. So it's a neat thing, and my hat's off to him that he can do that.
Him at the helm producing it as well kind of, I think, made it easier for all of us to just sit and create off that original idea.
It was the scariest and happiest time in my entire life. Next, of course, someone handing me a baby that I was going to have to be responsible for. But I left the baby there. I didn't want to be responsible for it. No.